Yet another great question from Brad Ryan. I really have to figure out how he does this, or just straight up ask him. How did you feel about the Mike Riley hire when it came out, and how do you feel about it now? I gotta be just dead honest. I mean, after all, that is what the intro says. I was kind of underwhelmed. Actually, I was underwhelmed. You had all this build-up about Jim Tressel with maybe Scott Frost as a head coach in waiting, or, you know, as we got down the way, Brett Bielema, or these big name coaches, and maybe somebody would come from the NFL, or maybe somebody would come from here, or maybe Rich Rodriguez would come, maybe Les Miles would come, and just everybody and their brother who was a legitimate coach, a legitimate big name coach. I'm really surprised Nick Saban's name didn't come up about Nebraska opening the pocketbook. But when Mike Riley's name was put out there, it was an eyebrow-raising hire, and the people whose opinion I put a lot of stock in were upset. Not all, but a good chunk of them. Fans were upset, quite a few, especially the ones who did not want to see Bo leave in the first place. And when I first found out about the hire, I was not upset. I just was not, I guess, impressed. But I sat back almost immediately, and I said to myself, you know, this reminds me of a hire that Nebraska made not too far in the past, when some guy named Tim Miles was hired. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am just now, really starting getting into college basketball. I've always enjoyed it, but thanks to Tim Miles, I am really getting into the nitty-gritty, and also thanks to some of my friends who have helped me just take a crash course. But Tim came along and has done wonders, and has made me so passionate, and so many other fans passionate. You know, even when losing to Incarnate Word and the likes, those people are still going to be going back there, and again and again and again, season tickets and all that stuff. So you look at what Nebraska was and what it is today, and I go back to the Mike Riley hire, and I look at Mike Riley and I say, well, you know, this guy had to coach in Corvallis, Oregon. He's not the sexiest pick. He's not a Jim Tressel with Scott Frost as a head coach in waiting, but he's very organized. He knows how to work with the media. He, what other comparison to Tim Miles is there? Oh, he knows how to use social media, as does his staff. So I'm kind of seeing a very similar mindset, and that in and of itself took me from meh, or maybe an eyebrow raise, to an excitement about what Nebraska football could be down the line. Now, I'm not saying Nebraska football is going to be in the college football playoff in the next 2 to 3 years. However, you never know. Cinderella story, etc., etc. That being said, Mike is surrounding himself with people who obviously can do work and who put in work. If you look at the folks who are starting to go out on the recruiting trail, basically all of the assistants, all of the directors of operations are making calls, setting up official visits, not only for the people that Nebraska has as current commits, but also as people they want to bring in. You know, there aren't really that many scholarships left in this class, but they want to make them big. I mean, for the people who translate them as booms, they want them to be just demolition-size booms, and they're going to work very hard between now and February to make that happen, and I think we're going to see something of that caliber. So please, by all means, you know, check out on the Twitterverse, or, you know, you, the Twitterati, check it out. If you're not on Twitter, you're missing out on some fun, so this may be an opportunity for you to jump in, and if not, you'll probably read about it in the paper or whatever, if that's your thing. Or hey, you're on YouTube, you'll probably hear about it from me. But just seeing what Mike Riley has brought to the table already, not even 2 weeks into the job, has been nothing short of impressive. And everybody has said resources, resources, resources. People who did not want to see Bo go have just kind of used that as in a snarky tone. We're seeing what he can do with resources in Lincoln, Nebraska versus Corvallis. I don't know many Oregon State fans, but I don't think they realized just how little he had to work with. Now he has a freaking transformer when he had a Matchbox Racer, and he did not waste any time. Matter of fact, there's a waiver going on right now where the current staff, Barney Cotton, etc., can do their bowl prep and all that good stuff, and Riley and his staff can go recruit. So basically, Nebraska is Alabama for all intents and purposes for a little bit, for about a month or so. So to answer the question, at first, I wasn't really feeling it, but now I gotta say, I'm impressed. But hey, Brad, thanks for the question, as always. If you'd like to get a question going for the next episode of 5-Step Drop, obviously we've changed things up a little bit here, please go ahead and leave one in the comment below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the 8 Laces page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at 8Laces, and for now, take care, stay safe, and go